This is The Scoop for Tuesday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister says there's been a deputy-involved shooting. On X, the sheriff wrote that deputies were not injured and there's no threat to public safety. Video showed several law enforcement vehicles in what Chronister says is the 2900 block of Frontage Drive. Last summer, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission approved new rules for anglers on the Sunshine Skyway Pier to keep pelicans from becoming entangled. But WMNF's Chris Young reports that one advocacy group says the rules are not being enforced.
Kim Begay is a volunteer with Friends of the Pelicans. She says the seabird entanglements on the Sunshine Skyway fishing pier, the longest pier in the world, are particularly bad.
Out on the Skyway Pier, it is the most, it can be really depressing. It's shocking. It's maddening.
In response, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission approved new rules to protect the birds effective October 2023. They restricted multi-hook rings and gear from mid-November to mid-March. They also require anglers to complete a course on responsible fishing practices.
I understand some really positive changes have happened recently, but they're only positive and meaningful changes if they are being enforced.
Friends of the Pelicans is calling on FWC and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection for better enforcement and signage regarding these courses. Begay says not all anglers are completing the course. She says they don't need to show proof they've done the course and don't receive penalties if they haven't. And it could have dire consequences if a seabird gets caught in their line.
If they don't know how to manage that properly, and they would know how to if they watched the video and took the test, then it's going to detrimentally impact the pelicans. They're going to get frustrated. They're going to cut the line. They don't know who to call. They don't know they're supposed to call somebody.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission said in a statement to WMNF that they are monitoring rule effectiveness in severe entanglements. They say that they are working to coordinate with others to raise awareness about the new rules and conservation challenges. The FDEP did not respond by our deadline. For WMNF News, I'm Chris Young.
Today is day 3 of Hurricane Preparedness Week. Today's topic is understanding forecast information. Here's meteorologist Megan Borowski from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network.
There are several important things to focus on today. First is that there are a variety of alerts that can be issued in the event of a tropical system. Now, these storms can produce many hazards like extreme winds, flash flooding, storm surge flooding, and tornadoes. And there are alerts that accompany each of these hazards. In general, a watch means that the hazard is possible, and a warning means that particular hazard is expected or it's occurring. For more details on such alerts, I encourage folks to check out NOAA's website.
Borowski says another important thing to understand is the cone forecast graphic. The cone only shows the area where the center of the storm may track, but that impacts are likely to reach far beyond the area of the cone. In the event of a tropical system, you should focus on the alerts issued for our area instead of relying only on the forecast cone. Florida House and Senate have urged the state Supreme Court to uphold a congressional redistricting plan in a long-running legal battle that's focused on the overhaul of a North Florida district. Their attorneys argue that the Supreme Court should reject allegations by voting rights groups that the plan violated part of a 2010 Florida constitutional amendment. It's known as the Fair Districts Amendment. It sets standards for redistricting. Those groups went to the Supreme Court after an appeals court upheld the plan in December. Governor Ron DeSantis pushed the plan through the legislature in 2022. The North Florida district stretched in the past from Jacksonville to Gadsden County, which is west of Tallahassee, in an elected black Democrat Al Lawson. But the 2022 overhaul put the district in the Jacksonville area, and white Republicans won all North Florida congressional seats in the subsequent 2022 elections. The voting rights groups contend the plan violates part of the 2010 constitutional amendment that prohibited drawing districts that would diminish the ability of minorities to elect representatives of their choice. A burn ban is currently in effect for Sarasota County due to local drought conditions and an increased chance of fire hazards. Sarasota's burn ban is in effect county-wide. All outdoor burning is prohibited unless a permit has been issued and applicable for the unincorporated areas of Sarasota County and the city of Sarasota. Exceptions include cooking on barbecue grills or pits that do not exceed 3 feet in diameter and 2 feet in height, or any other valid state or county authorized burn. The burn ban will automatically lift after a drought index falls below 500 for 7 consecutive days. Today it will be partly cloudy with a slight chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm. Highs will be near 90. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight lows in the low 70s. And tomorrow, sunny and hot with near record high temperatures in the low 90s. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.